And we are entering today, as I said, age 21, which is this point of transformation or beginning to enter from the astral 7-year cycle of the third 7-year cycle to another astral 7-year cycle of the sentient soul. But with one very important change, which is the birth of the earthly eye. It's not yet the birth of the spiritual eye. We will talk more about it and explain the difference. But we have here this point, this point of transformation from an astral body that is, we can say, has no eye. Of course, it doesn't mean that a child in these 21 years really doesn't have an eye. But we say that the eye until the age of 21 is still acting from outside to another 7-year cycle, astral 7-year cycle, but this time with the entrance of this very important and special component of the eye, which is the one that actually makes us human beings. Because as we know, the physical body is connected to all the kingdoms, mineral, plant, and animal kingdom. The etheric body is also, have also the plants and the animals, and the astral body is still connected also to the animal kingdom. But the eye is the unique component of the human being, the one, as in the beautiful poem of Ramon Remez, that stays with us after we die, that stays with us from one life to another. And the eye is the one that is responsible for this transformation that you were speaking about. He is the one that will take the astral body and make it into a sentient soul, and later, very much later, at 42 to 49, can transform it if we do a process of development to spirit self. The eye is the one that will transform the etheric body into the intellectual soul and into life spirit. And he is also the one that can transform the physical body into the consciousness soul, which is connected to our era, and to spirit man, which of course is a very faraway component that we can talk today only as a very little sperm, not yet at all as a very little seed, not at all yet as something that is really here now. But this eye, this mysterious component that makes us human beings, is the one that in age 21 is born for the first time, we can say, first as an earthly eye. So we can see here that age 21 is a mirroring of the birth, is a mirroring of age 42 and age 63. So we can talk about age 21 as the second birth. The first birth is the physical birth. The second birth at age 21 is the birth of the earthly eye. And we can see here that actually every 21 years in our life, we can call them a new birth. Yeah. So Steiner tells us that the eye is pure activity, the eternal part of the human being. What does it mean, pure activity? It means that the eye which is a spark of the Godhood, doesn't leave any material after it. The eye itself can't be seen in any kind of by any kind of senses. Even someone which is very spiritually developed and can see and initiate, that can see the etheric and the astral body, which is possible. It is possible to see them, because although they aren't physical, but they do live some kind of essence that can be seen. But the eye doesn't leave any kind of material sign. So we can't see the eye, because the eye, as I said, is a sparkle of the Godhood that was put in each of us. And in the Bible, it is said that the human being can't see the Godhood and live. It is not possible for us to see, because there isn't anything to see. Not something sensual. So Steiner tells us the eye is pure activity. It means not that if we have an eye, we are all the time moving physically, but that the eye is in eternal change and development and movement. Yeah, although the eye is only born at the age of 21, but we will have signs of the eye also much earlier. We have signs that show us that the eye is there, that give us hints of the activity of the eye and the little child in his development already in the first 3 years. The force of the eye is the force that can make us overcome the laws of nature. Yes? If there was only gravity, without the force of the eye, we would all fall down. Or we would at least walk like the animals and fall with our head down. The force that gives us the possibility to stand upright is this force that can make us overcome the laws of nature. That means it is the force that can also make us overcome the laws of karma. When the laws of karma are acting on us, we are still under the laws of nature, the laws of cause and effect. When at around age 49, we have the possibility, it doesn't mean that we actually do it, but we have the possibility to begin releasing from karma. We will talk a lot about it when we study about age 49. It means this possibility to overcome karma, to overcome our fate, is connected to the eye. Yeah, is connected to overcoming what is expected by the nature, the natural law. So this is the first footprint. Then we have the footprint of speech, of the word. And we know that the world, the creation, was also created by the word, the godly word. Its ability to speak with words, to use words in order to contact each other, in order to express myself, is a spiritual ability. And then we have, as Galen told us, the third expression, which is saying I, and also before that, or as part of it, the ability to think and to have self-consciousness. Of course, the little child, the 3-year-old child, doesn't yet really have self-consciousness, but this saying I is a beginning of this ability, which is born also with the ability of memory, right? Because I can't have any self-consciousness and I can't say I before I begin to have memories of myself, before I remember that yesterday it was me, and also today when I get up in the morning, it's the same me, it's the same I. So yeah, most of our speech is learned out of imitation. Yeah, mother says, a dog is walking by and mother points on him and says, this is a dog. And then dad is saying, this is a dog. And then my brother is saying, this is a dog. And after some time, the little child studies, oh, this is a dog. He studies to recognize. So it is out of imitation and of course of experience, but I imitate the other person saying about the dog that it is a dog. And the same about the objects and all the rest. But when I say I and I point to myself, this is something that I can't learn only through imitation. I do see other people saying I, but if I really understand also what is I, not just saying it is a word, and I say it about myself, it means that I have the very first seed of feeling, identifying myself as an I, identifying myself as someone. We begin to experience the I only through our friction with the world. Because as I said before, the I itself doesn't leave any material sign. We can't know the I itself. We can't know because it has no, we can't perceive it, but we can perceive its manifestations. We can perceive its shining, we can say, what it is, the footprints that it is leaving us. Yeah? In the same way that we can't perceive God himself. It's impossible. We can't know the Creator, but we can know his manifestations, his actions, his what we meet through our experiences in life. Yeah. So our meeting with the I, with our I, will never be direct. But like he said here, Tyner, we can meet it through its mirroring. We can meet it through like an image that we see in the mirror. So we don't catch the I itself, but we can catch its reflections. So on the one hand, the I is eternal, spaceless, timeless, the most eternal part in us. But in order for us to develop it, we must, as Amalia said, we must incarnate to this world, and we must actually have a lot of frictions with the earth, with the outside physical world, because this friction, and with other people, because this friction is actually what makes us have self-consciousness and begin to know our I, to know ourselves. Because, as I said, we can't know the I itself, we can know only its manifestations. So our incarnation into the earth is part of the journey to know our I and to develop it and to transform the bodies, the physical, etheric, and astral bodies into higher levels of consciousness. Yeah. So Steiner also gives a metaphor of this birth of the I at age 21 as the Holy Grail. We can say that the physical, etheric, and astral body are like the Holy Grail that we developed in the first 3 7-year cycles in order that the I, which until that age worked on the bodies from outside, can enter. What does it mean, enter? We said it has no material footprint. But when we say enter, it means that from something that is active on us from outside, now the I becomes like the center, and it works on the bodies, on the transformation of the bodies, of the conscious components from inside. So we also compare it to taking a glove and turning it upside down. Yeah. It's like something is turned upside down, and what was before outside is now inside. And what was before inside is now outside. Okay? So when the I is born at the age of 21, it's still not a spiritual birth. It's still very connected to serving the earthly will and all the earthly life, but it means that what was before only the astral forces now begins to have a direction and some kind of inner center, some kind of ability to preserve. Yeah. Because when we begin, age 21 is the beginning, as I said before, of the sentient soul. So the sentient soul is already a soul. It's not a body, but it's still, we can say, a very earthly soul. In the sentient soul, from ages 21 to 28, 7-year cycle of 21 to 28, the I and soul are still very much, we can say, servants of the earthly passions, of the earthly needs, of the survival, and so on. But there is some beginning there of an ability to have decision, to make decisions. We will talk about it more after the breaks. We will talk about the different kinds of decisions. There is some ability there, as I said, to have some more direction, because the astral doesn't have direction. It's just, you know, like a wave moving from up to down, from side to side. The I can give direction. And it can give us the ability to preserve. The person in the ages between 21 to 28 has a lot of sensations and a lot of experiences, and it is right for this age, but also we can see that in this age, people can begin to study something, to choose something they want to study, or to have a more stable work sometimes, or even to go to a journey around the world, but there is still more direction there than before. We also say that the earthly birth of the I at age 21 can be, we can give it a metaphor of falling in love. Falling in love is something that you get as a grace, right? When you fall in love, you don't have to work in order to receive it, but it's just like a very strong and passionate feeling. And also this birth of the I at 21, many times in this age, we will have some kind of spiritual experience. It won't always be experienced as spiritual. It can be also a shocking experience, because we know that the meeting with the I, the meeting with this force, can be very shocking. The meeting with the spiritual world is not always pleasant. By the way, many of the mental diseases come out at age 21, around these ages. And it can be connected to this birth of this force of the I. If the vessel that has to hold it isn't strong enough, if the physical, etheric, and astral bodies that were built in the first 21 years aren't strong enough to hold the I, it can show itself as a break, as a mental break. Yeah. But it can be also a kind of spiritual experience that will come, and it can stay, it can fade away and stay as some memory, memory that will be a seed for later. I will soon give an example. And what comes to us at the age of 21 as a grace will have to be worked on to become, to come from the earthly birth to a spiritual birth, 21 years. From the age 21 to the age 42. Age 42 is the birth of the spiritual I. So we can say that for 21 years, the I is working on the bodies to make them become souls. And then at 42, we can arrive to the spiritual phase. Yeah? So what first is given to us as grace and as an experience, like falling in love, we know also that in falling in love, if we want the falling in love to stay and become a real relationship, a real loving relationship, after the falling in love will fade away, we have to work very hard, right? So it's the same with our I. In order that the spiritual component will really become the center of our actions, the center of our life, this is already a very hard work and very gradual development. It doesn't come at once, but it comes in a gradual process from 21 to 42.